Lunchbox is brought to you by Casa D'Angelo, with locations in Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, and Aventura.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Today, an unexpected home show. Unfortunately, we were supposed to be at Angelo Ilia Bakery Bar, but we had to reschedule. I got a little note from Angelo that he had a little situation. He had to fly off to Aspen, Colorado. And a man like that, he's got business all over the place. And I'm sure we're going to be able to get together with Angelo pretty soon. But in the meantime, we're on a little early today. I've got my annual ophthalmologist visit to, I guess I've had issues with retinal tears in the past, and once a year I have to go make sure that my eyes are holding up. Some people think that I might be blind already with the things that I like to eat, but Skyline chili, but to me it looks beautiful.
That's just bad taste.
Jeff Devo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lube. It's
Usually your senses would be heightened if your vision was going.
Yeah,
right. Because the other senses take on a little bit more of a heightened state.
The taste buds always kick in. Yep. Meanwhile, what a day yesterday! Sicilian oven was great. I was and then I went to the Carlos and Pepe's. Had a kind of throwback pop-up dinner at Max's Grill in Boca Raton. Burt Rappaport was one of the original founding partners at the very beginning of Carlos and Pepe's in Fort Lauderdale in 1979. And now, of course, Burt Rappaport has gone on to fame and fortune in the restaurant industry and still operates, I think, 3 or 4 restaurants around the Palm Beach County area. And your presence was greatly missed last night, Defo.
My apologies. The Mustang has stomach issues that pop up. They were especially overwhelming yesterday in the morning. And by the time we got to the afternoon, she unfortunately was a scratch at the gate.
Yeah, but we had a great time. What a great turnout! Because I feel like a celebrity now because everybody like shouts out my name when I walk across the room, and it's these people who are on Let's Eat, and they just like it's kind of scary that they think that I'm some sort of food guru. Meanwhile, like I did see, I saw Buddha, our friend from.
Oh yeah, nice.
Buddha was out there representing, and of course, he's the general manager of another Burt Rappaport property. That's Burt and Max's up in Delray Beach. Yep. He was, passing along regards to everybody. He also said that I think the Greek is just swimming in cash after hitting Georgia Tech. So it was a good week for him. I think. Buddha might have actually followed along the Greek. They do, I guess, hang out together and like to play some sports action. But besides that, I missed Joe Cassell and Tasso. Apparently, were sitting on the outside in the dog-friendly section.
That's not your favorite section, though. As referenced on other shows. I mean, you're not inclined to hang out in the dog section.
Do not twist my words, Donald Trump. I basically said that dogs that are, welcome in dog-friendly restaurants, outdoor patio areas. I'm fine with that. It's when these people bring their little, quote, bogus service animals into the main dining room inside. And sometimes
how much time are you spending in the dog-friendly section, Michael Mayo?
I would imagine you didn't ask for a table for 2 there.
I spend lots of time in outdoor dog-friendly sections during the time of year, whereas the weather allows it. Like, I love sitting out there al fresco in the winter.
Who's sounding like Trump now, man? You're just backpedaling, making excuses here.
I love dogs.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Dogs are the man's best friend. No, I this time of year it's hot and muggy, so I didn't want to sit outside last night.
No way.
And
look, in the last place you would want to be.
No way.
I got invited by the man himself, Burt Rappaport, and he me and Val sat at his table with
Oh,
his
wow.
wife
Oh,
and a
that's
couple
sweet.
of friends of
Wow. Look
his.
at you.
And, when the man himself, I followed him to his table, which was inside. And I'm not going to start arguing. We
No,
had a
that's
really nice time. Carlos, who's the original chef, he's 81 years old, I think. His name is
oh, wow.
Carlos Puglisi. And he has some Latin roots in that he was born in El Salvador. His parents were Italian and emigrated to Latin America before or during World War II. It was a fascinating story. I was listening to it, but he picked up Mexican cuisine and skills when he worked in Southern California, which is where Bert and Dennis Max and the original founder also of Carlos and Pepe's, Dave Alderman, all were from Southern California. He's getting all kinds of great stories from Bert about the formation of Carlos and Pepe's. And this was kind of, it was somber because Carlos and Pepe's shut its doors on Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale just a month ago after 35 years. And I'm sorry, I got my math wrong. Let's go back another 45 years. Yeah, it was 1979. And, it had some various ownership changes and challenges in its final years. And what happened is after hearing about the closing, Carlos went to Bert and said, "Hey, how about let's, for old times' sake, throw a little kind of a nostalgic trip down memory lane." He recreated some of the menu classics, the tuna dip, and I had chile rellenos. It was great. And the mud pie for dessert, I don't necessarily think of it as a Mexican dish, but boy, it was good. And it was, I guess, one of the staples back in the day. Even Joe Casale was raving about it and had a piece of it. It's like coffee ice cream with an Oreo crust and some whipped cream on top.
Wow.
And that was a perfect capper to a delightful evening. And they're doing it again tonight. So if anyone wants to go check it out. And Carlos is so buoyed by this. Like after leaving Carlos and Pepe's, he opened with the help and backing of Bert a Mexican restaurant in Boca called Cafe Ole, and it was on Glades Road, right across from the old Pete Rose ballpark cafe. I don't know if you've ever been into Cafe Ole, but I guess it did well for a while, and then Carlos just kind of retired. But last night he was so excited and ebullient, that's one of my favorite words, that he's talking about like doing these pop-ups once a month or maybe reopening and finding another little space to open like a 40-seat Mexican restaurant. And I was like, hey, more power to him. Because he looked in great shape and he was definitely working the room. He was expediting the dishes and making sure everything was coming out all right in the kitchen. So a fine time had by all. And definitely we missed you. But talk about classy individuals, Defo. Bert Rappaport, one of the best. It's just it's great.
Great guy, exuding class, a legendary restaurateur here. Had a hand in a lot of places that became iconic, including Carlos Pepe's. Well, what was the place? It was around Oakland Park and Federal? Was it Husan and Larry's?
Yeah, Husong and Larry's.
I remember that. That place was wildly popular for a while, and then it just abruptly went out of business.
I still don't
nightclub,
know.
I think.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of. Well, you never know.
Around the time where Mike Kozlowski was like opening clubs that. Where we're generating huge crowds, but somehow went bankrupt after like 3 weeks. But that place was very popular. Carlos and Pepe's, though, legendary name now, and the future is he might be popping up literally at various places. And you mentioned something about a food truck.
So the original Carlos. Okay, so the owners that owned Carlos and Pepe's at the end, they unfortunately ran into some difficulties. The rent was very high. They shuttered the brick and mortar place. It's a couple that has extensive experience in the restaurant business. Paula Emke, she used to work at all kinds of places, Bistro Mezzaluna, but she and her husband bought it like a year and a half ago, and they put all kinds of money in it, and then it just went out of business. I mean, but they still have a food truck. So the Carlos and Pepe's name, which they own and operate, is still, I guess, just operating now as a food truck and catering. They talking about maybe trying to find another brick and mortar location. But then Carlos, who's the original chef, is now talking about maybe he'll get back into the Mexican restaurant game. Who knows? It's a tough world out there, but the enthusiasm there in the Boca area. A lot of people who live in Boca now that used to be in Fort Lauderdale, and we're talking about how they spent a lot of time at the original one back in the day. Yeah, it was definitely a pleasant evening.
Nice.
But meanwhile, I wanted to talk about. You talk about often, Defo, the two scariest words in the English language being, what, market price.
Market price on the
Yeah,
restaurant menu for sure.
I do.
I don't even bother to venture there anymore. Like when I see it, it's a scratch immediately.
Yeah.
I don't even care. If
100%.
everything was market price, I would get up and leave.
Now, I say the two best words in the English language, and I guess one of them is hyphenated, so maybe it's three words. But non-refundable deposit, and that's why I'm in a great mood today. And the heavens are opening up right here in Dania, and I
Yes.
don't care anymore because I've got a non-refundable
nice.
deposit. I
You don't
hope
care
that
if the
rental
pool
car-
goes green.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't
I just don't want the rental car to
Weeds.
go underwater, so I might have to go move. I might have to abandon ship in the middle of the show.
Non-refundable funds, though, you cop that money no matter what, even if your house washes away and
Yes.
ends up in Hollywood
100%.
somewhere.
Yes.
So that's good. I mean, as is.
As is.
Those are
yeah,
two
no.
other words that sometimes.
As is a
As
beautiful.
is.
Those
Yeah.
are two good
As
words
is.
too.
Yeah.
There'll be changes afoot, but I'm all excited about that, especially
A flush mayo could become dangerous here.
yes, a flooded mayo was also a little bit dangerous, but
Yeah.
a flush mayo is even more dangerous. And look how happy I am. I mean, Lubie before the show,
Very unusual, yeah. I mean,
it's there's
this
nothing
is an
like,
epitome of calm that we've never seen from you before.
Yes, your happiness is nice to see.
nothing like the color of money.
Yeah.
And of course, there'll be other kinds of changes in attitude and latitude, and it's all good. So man, where am I? I'm just kind of fablunged today. Once I see the rain start pouring down, like it's coming down like 2 inches an hour, I get a little bit nervous. But
You were never a big fan of Mexican food, though, as I recall,
what's funny.
from the 3 years of the show. And so, has your mind become more open to it? Are you inclined to maybe, because of this sampling that you had from Carlos and Pepe's menu last night, to say, "Hey, Val, let's hop in a car and get some Mexican"?
Well,
What do you think?
let me. When a man like Burt Rappaport invites you to dinner, I
You want to
say
go for
I'll
sure.
go.
I felt terrible.
That's number. But number two,
I at least tried to go.
I'm gonna do my best Trump backtracking now and say that I never totally indicted all of Mexican cuisine. What I don't like,
I didn't
is
say
all-
that. You
No.
just it wasn't your favorite. Let's
Yeah,
put it
you
that way.
never. When do you ever mention a Mexican?
You never mention a
Not a
Mexican
restaurant,
place
you
in
never
3 years. Never.
This really nice Mexican place Val and I went to Tuesday.
Taco Bell. I mean, would be
Maybe I'll get back into a Mexican phase. Here's my thing. I'm not enamored with tacos. People seem to love tacos. And I think tacos are used and abused and just ended up at one point like on every menu, including places that, didn't belong where they shouldn't have tacos. But now that I've gotten back and we've been going around to these taco
Taco
crafts
crafts,
and they
yeah.
do these,
They do a nice
elevated
job. Yeah, no
tacos
doubt.
with stuff that's like delicious and putting in these different kind of more of the like gourmet item twists on different things. I also like real Mexican street tacos too, but it's just one of those things where I don't find them that often to my liking. So I guess they're out there. And I'm a man of contradictions. And if
You
when
just say that. That's what we're waiting for you to say.
I like it, but I don't like it. You sound like Lubie picking a game. Well, I don't know about the points.
there's certain items I do like chile rellenos, and you don't see those a lot. You see more of the burritos and
You
the
see a lot of
tacos.
varieties of them, though. Sometimes you get like the actual chili relleno in there. I mean, and then other people just kind of manufacture something and then call it a chili relleno.
Yeah.
But I mean, tacos to me were always just the standard Tijuana taco, where you go down there and some guy that looked like he just changed the oil in his car, doesn't have gloves on and slops some meat into a corn shell, and that's your taco. And those were brilliant though. But there's really, I don't know that you find anything like what I would have considered a taco around. Not that any of this stuff is bad. I mean, evolution is fantastic in a lot of areas.
And I guess the other thing that I do like is some more of the classic, like Mexican moles. That dish that's a very complex. It has like chocolate and cocoa. That's
Wasn't
one
there
of
some gas station you went to that had like a taco? What is it? The burrito taco? Is that what it's called?
Oh, the burrito tacos become
Yeah.
popular. It's like
I
fried with
love those tacos.
served with the little dipping broth on the side. It's kind of like the Mexican version of a French
French
dip
dip.
sandwich. It's like you
French dip.
dip
Yeah.
your fried taco with this shredded meat.
Somebody's got to give us this on the chat line, though. A gas station that serves Mexican food, burritos, tacos, that sort of thing, tortillas,
good.
that you would go to and recommend.
It's good.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
I don't know that I've seen one. You see some
Oh,
Cuban places that are recommended on Let's Eat South Florida, where they're going to like the Chevron station. They have a little restaurant in there, but all takeout. But what about Mexican? There should be some places.
well, the gas station places are down like in Homestead. When you go on down to the
Oh yeah, no,
Keys,
there I would imagine you
there's
could get some decent
I've
stuff.
eaten at a really good Mexican, and it's actually a full scale restaurant. It's built into a corner of a Shell station down in Homestead. Anytime I go down to the Keys, I forget the name of it now, but it's also really good, authentic, as they say. Good ingredients, and but up in the Palm Beach area, like the western fringes of Palm Beach County, 441, there's these also a lot of Mexican food trucks. And
Yeah,
also, then there's some grocery stores along like Lake Worth Road out west because it's farmland out there, and there's a lot of the farm workers are
veggies and-
Mexican. They're seasonal farm workers. I don't know about their immigration status, nor do I care, as long as the tomatoes.
You can't avoid politics today, Mike.
Nah, well, but all these Mexican
You didn't have to
farm
mention
workers,
that.
well, it's the reality of our situation. But all these Mexican seasonal farm workers, they love, of course, their native
their
cuisine.
own
So,
food. Yeah.
yeah, and so when there's a demand, usually a supply pops up, and so
Yeah.
there's some really good Mexican grocery. There's a place called Ed's Carniceria. It's like a grocery store, and in the back they have all the great, like also authentic street tacos there, where you get them for like $2 or $3 each,
Oh, wow.
and it's a pretty proper place. That's I think also in the Green Acres area, Lake Worth Road. But yeah, so they're out and about. Even in Broward,
I got to schlep the Lake Worth to get a
I'm
taco.
trying to
Is
think
that
of
what you're
Broward.
saying,
I'm
man?
trying to think.
Broward. Okay,
Come on.
there's a couple of
There's
places.
nothing by the courthouse. These
Well, like,
judges
where in
don't need to get a lunch where
So
they
along
get a little bite to it.
Yeah, for tacos, I'm trying to.
Davie Boulevard and 441, there's a couple of Mexican like grocery stores, convenience stores that look a little sketchy walking in, but they have some good also street tacos and other items there. There's a place up in Oakland Park that I forget the name, is also a grocery store type situation where they do street tacos. And as far as a full-fledged restaurant, a place where we did a Visit
Oh, that's
Lauderdale
great.
show, El
Salvador.
Guanaco.
That place is
And that's a really great spot, operated by two women, one of them Mexican, one of them from El Salvador. So they have both Salvadoran and Mexican items, and they have every Tuesday a Taco Tuesday, all you can eat. I think it was $19.99 for all you can eat tacos, which is a pretty good deal. And their food is great, and their burrito there, right, Lubie, we love their beef.
Oh no, that place was fantastic. I keep forgetting that place is there. It's just not exactly where I would go normally, but they did a really good job. And the pricing was fantastic. Val is saying, is this really the name of the place? El Carajo?
What does El Carajo mean in Spanish,
Like,
Lubie?
that means like out in the boons, like Casa de Carajo, like that means out in the boons. Like,
All right. I
I'll
thought
get
that
the
was
name
more of a
first and then-
Spanish cuisine. Val is watching the show. I don't know. Is that Spanish or Mexican?
I mean, that name would feel Mexican. That
Yeah,
feels
okay.
like a
all right.
Mexican place.
And I
In
have
Coconut
not.
Grove. So
I
there you
have
go.
not
I'm
been
just trying to
there.
think about. I don't know about me. Like you would think out of a gas station there would be like interesting Mexican, like a taco kind. I can't think of anything like that in like the Broward area, because that would be. I would love like a place like that, like food trucks. You'll see food trucks pop up, but again, I couldn't tell you where they are. But it feels like something that would work, especially out east.
It's a
Like,
tradition
yeah,
in the West.
I just Googled it. El Carajo is a Spanish tapas bar that's located in a gas station. So it is
yeah,
more,
okay.
of,
Well,
more
must
of
be
the
good.
Spain and Spanish tapas more than Mexican.
I think you've thrown the public off here, though, because we're on at an earlier time here today. But and maybe that's why we're not getting these gas station
Suggestions,
locations of great Mexican food on the chat line, or perhaps there is no place like that, which is possible. Although very impressive, Louis, for a guy that doesn't give a flying one about Mexican food for the most part. I mean, did he name like 50 places?
Yes,
He's got a food truck out there in Lake Worth. I mean, you're on your game today, Mayo.
he knows.
This Carlos and Pepe's and Burt Rappaport really did inspire
I
me.
guess maybe I'm a secret Mexican food lover and a secret dog lover. I think what I'm going to do next week,
Sit down in a Mexican restaurant with some dogs on a patio.
I'm going to go to a taco craft,
Yeah.
sit outside with all the dogs I can find. Maybe have Kevin from Batch come over and bring some of the rescue dogs.
I can bring my dog. I'm telling you right now.
And then I'm just going to order a whole boatload of tacos and just start. I'm going to make it rain tacos and let the dogs go wild and just start eating.
Probably not the best thing for him. I don't know.
No, that's not a good move at all.
Yeah.
Do you feed Skippy regular food anymore, or he can't take that, right?
No, the Skippy eats great, man. You know what? This stuff, it's kept him alive. I believe this 1,000%. A place called Meals for Dogs. I couldn't recommend it any more highly. You could probably make this stuff yourself, but we're not inclined to do that. So, I don't mind keeping these guys in business. It's not overwhelmingly expensive by comparison to the garbage that most dogs are unfortunately eating. Well, when guys are buying, canned food or whatever, very sincere pet owners, but buying the wrong stuff. So since we've been feeding our dogs this stuff, honestly, I don't know that they've ever been sick.
Wow.
Very rare. And Skippy's got to be 17 years old, and he's still, fairly spry. He's had his episodes a couple of times. We thought we were going to lose him, but he's bounced back like he's.
I got to tell you, he looks great for 17. I love the photos that you post on Facebook showing them like riding around in the car driving.
Those are a couple of years old, though. He's all right. But I believe the food. They make it there, and when you walk in, honestly, your first instinct is to ask for a table for four. Because, they're cooking real food there, and they know exactly what to do in terms of vitamins and minerals and all the stuff that dogs need, especially, special to them as opposed to just human consumption. But you could eat the stuff yourself. I mean, if you had a bag of this stuff and you were on like Survivor or Naked and Afraid, and you ended up eating this dog food, you'd be fine.
I bet it's better than some of the restaurant fare I had when I was a critic for the Sunset.
Could be. I mean, they mostly eat this beef macaroni thing, which I've been tempted a few times when there's nothing in the fridge.
I see a
to just
Skyline
heat up
chili
a bowl.
joke.
Yeah.
Is there a Skyline chili joke?
No, it's better than Skyline chili, in my opinion, because you don't have to disguise it with a lot of sauce.
Bars, folks.
No,
Skyline
your
chili,
Skyline chili thing is fine. Your obsession is a little bit
like their
extreme,
owners,
but if you like it, it's fine. I'm a big fan of trashy food. I really am. But I didn't find that all that great.
I found the spot. It's called Tortilleria or Tortilleria, 2 L's, Mexicana. Tortilleria Mexicana,
Shell Station?
15 Dixie Highway in Oakland Park. So it's up
right there.
So far from
and it's not in a gas station, but it's kind of a bare bones Mexican joint. It has an outdoor area that's very popular on the weekends. A lot of my friends from the Sun Sentinel used to hang out there on Friday nights. I think they had like just kind of happy hour beers and tacos, and everybody would kind of just assemble in this like outdoor area that was under a little bit of a tent or something. But yeah, Tortilleria Mexicana, 4.4 on the Google reviews, 4115 Dixie Highway, Oakland Park. I have never been there, and I need to rectify that. It's me being the Mexican food lover that I am.
Who knows? You might find a new passion for this. That'd be great. Yeah. I mean, not that you have to, but in general, it's hard to find. See, I'm not as much of a fan. I appreciate what they're doing with these new fufu tacos and all of that, and certainly Taco Craft, outstanding. And it's interesting because it's more like a gourmet type of stuff. But the old greasy beef taco, you don't find them that often.
Well, the lunchroom tacos with the hard shell, old El Paso, and then the ground beef, simmered in the sauce that was like the packet.
La Bamba does a decent taco like that, and Tijuana Flats does a decent taco like that. The hard shell.
I'm talking about a place where you can just walk up to a stand and whatever you get, you either get the burrito or the taco, and it's just absolutely amazing. that's not an easy find here. I would
No.
imagine you'd
Well, the
have to
California
seek out the gas
burritos,
stations. Yeah.
yeah, I love the burritos in California in general, much better than the ones you find here. But again, the El Guanaco has as good a burrito that I've found anywhere. That
Yeah, it's good stuff.
steak
No
burrito.
doubt.
There's sit down. He's talking about like going up to like a counter, ordering and walking away, like almost food truck style or something of that ilk.
My biggest beef with Mexican food is
I don't
not
know.
the taco. It's those refried beans. That just come.
I'm a big fan.
Scattered
I could eat
love
thousands.
cheese.
refried food.
You
I
love the
love
refried beans. It's
Give me some lard. Give me everything.
yellow
okay,
rice
you
with
know.
refried beans.
yeah,
Piece of
and they
sauce.
had that last night.
Hey.
And look, God bless you if you love it. You know
I love
me. I'm trying to maintain.
I can't get
my
enough
goal.
refried
I
beans.
love that so much.
It's-
Consequences, notwithstanding. But
right. It
My
definitely
stomach,
leaves an impression.
Your
But
guests
yeah, the
around
yellow
you.
rice.
I mean, you don't want to go to a place where you have to go down a long elevator ride after eating
Meanwhile,
like a vat of refried beans.
some of the LES for effers that were out and about last night were taking pictures of me.
I saw it on one of your
artificially.
profile.
I didn't realize like that. I
Mike Mayo
become-
sighting. I'm like,
Right.
I see him every day.
and this guy snapped a picture. It's like the paparazzi are out. I've got to be on my best, not I got to like dress up.
Yeah.
I got to shave. And he took a profile, like a side view of me. I look like Alfred Hitchcock, the
You know what,
profile.
though? I would say this. There's a wide range of Mayo pictures out there now on social media. And
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh my
But you have shown a radical physical improvement since the
Yes.
picture was
Yeah,
taken
well,
of you and Bonnie,
okay.
which wasn't that long ago. It seemed like
Okay.
it was at a Bonnie send-off party.
Thank you.
and-
I'll take any
and-
compliments I can.
No,
get.
but I mean, Lubie, would you not
Oh,
say?
you've
Did you
lost
see that
weight.
picture? Yeah,
Yes,
you look 100%
Right, it's a
better.
start. That's
Yeah.
all we can do.
Yeah.
Going back to that picture you showed when you were some playboy in the 90s, that was a whole nother thing.
Hey, let's take our first break. And before that, let's talk about our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. I got some news for you. I don't know if it's been widely disseminated yet, but Kevin
Kevin
sent me a
posted something
picture.
on Facebook. I saw
He
him
did?
put something. I saw
Okay.
some picture. Delray. It was either Instagram or Facebook. Delray coming
Soon.
reboot soon.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we have been obviously showering our attention and affection on the Fort Lauderdale batch that is at 525 North Federal Highway. Now, batch for they also have this other concept that's more a sports bar, not so much of the scratch made food. That's the Batch Gastropub, which was the original down in the Brickell area of Miami. Well, Delray opened as a gastropub, and it's been chugging along. But Kevin and Brandon decided it was time to up their food game there in Delray. It's in that Delray marketplace. So they basically have now temporarily shuttered it for a couple of weeks while they're kind of retooling the kitchen and getting the training of the staff for the new and improved, new rebooted Batch Southern Kitchen and Tap concept coming to Delray Beach at the Delray Marketplace, right up the road from our friend Buddha and Burt Rappaport at Burt and Max's. On the other end of that complex is the Batch Southern Kitchen and Tap will be hopefully opening in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be doing a show there sometime in September to welcome them to the new Batch, I guess, family. There's a Batch in West Palm Beach. That's the Batch Southern Kitchen. There's the Batch in Fort Lauderdale, and now Batch Delray. Any of those are going to be great. The ones that are operating already now, nothing but rave reviews for the one at 525 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, where you've got the great biscuits.
There was
chicken
another one
waffles.
yesterday I saw pop up.
What was that?
Another one about Batch
Oh, a positive, yeah.
raving about all the dishes and this and that, and I was like, yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, it has become the darling of the Let's Eat group in this past summer of love for Batch, and you're going to love it too. Weekend brunches both days, Saturday, Sunday, with bottomless drink options. Whiskey Wednesday, every Wednesday night, you get all kinds of great drink specials, and usually they have some educational classes and then some bottles they sell for charity. It's all great. We love Kevin. We love Brandon, and they have free parking in the garage right next door in the apartment complex building next to it. Free parking for 4 hours, so it's easy to get in and out no matter what the weather is. Go to Batch in any of the locations, West Palm Beach, soon in Delray Beach, and of course Fort Lauderdale, and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
These guys deserve every degree of success that they attain. Really put their heart and soul into it. and very intelligent in their approach and very dedicated. So we saw that with Ralph DeSalvo yesterday and the people at Sicilian Oven.
Yes,
And so
yes.
it's no secret why certain people succeed, even though they do have to make gargantuan effort sometimes to make it work out. But those guys are dedicated. So
Oh, we'll talk more about that after the break because I loved every bit of that
Yeah, that was
yesterday,
a lot of
Ralph.
fun yesterday.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that was extremely interesting. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, back more of Mike Mayo's lunchbox. And wow, that was impressive. His ability to rattle off Mexican restaurants, wasn't it, Louis? I named like 20 of them.
for a guy who hates Mexican. Well, I don't hate
It
Mexican.
was
But
pretty
wait,
strange.
call
Well, you
me.
got to be
His
open minded here.
favorite food genre.
All right,
Yes.
back with more in a moment.
Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good with house made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. A little further inland, Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and I found it. It's not in home, and I've got a glow on me. Is it better with the light on or off?
I don't know. It's fine the way it is now. We're
Okay.
halfway through.
Well, it got very dark here, but thankfully
That's
it
nice.
stopped
Good.
raining. The car hasn't floated away. It's dry here. All right. Taqueria Morelia is the name of the place I was thinking of, and it's actually in Florida City,
Oh,
not
Jesus.
Homestead, on my way to the
So you
Keys.
have to go south.
Yeah, and Taqueria Morelia is one of my favorite pit stops on the way down to the Keys. Better than like Alabama Jacks. A lot of people go there for what the fingers, dolphin fingers, or cracked conch or
Conch
something.
fritters are the big
Conch
thing.
fritters,
Yeah.
yeah. I go there to drink. Actually, I go to Murata Bay to drink. That's a nice place too. But for the Mexican street food, Taqueria Morelia, Florida City. See, I'm just a font of information, even for foods that I don't necessarily aren't my favorite. Now, speaking of favorite, I mean, Italian food, everybody loves it. And what a great time we had with finally getting to meet in the flesh the also another local legend, Ralph DeSalvo, and that Sicilian oven. Do you go there a lot with the Cheryl's?
We do.
Lubie? Yeah.
Oh no, I mean I don't know if it's weekly, but monthly. I mean, again, the arancini, I think they may have it as rice ball on the menu just for the Americans.
Yeah.
Is one of our it's one of our favorite dishes. So wherever we go that they have it, we always order it just to try and see how it stacks up to the Sicilian oven. And they always put in comparison. Their rice ball is fantastic. And what's really cool about them is a lot of people will just throw in like marinara sauce. They'll actually give you their ridiculous bolognese with their arancini that's stuffed with bolognese. So it's a really nice dish. And then they just do a good job with everything. Their pizza is now Sun Sentinel Judge Award winning. They have these paninis or panettas, whatever. I think they call them panettas. They just sandwiches. They do a really good job. And it feels upscale, but with a casual mentality. So that's like we love Sicilian oven, and that when we were at yesterday is our location. Like we go there.
Did you take home and reassemble the eggplant stack?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is one of my favorite dishes, and the Mustang loves it. Absolutely loves it. Yeah, everything is good. Very tasty on the menu. The salad is legendary also around town. Their Sicilian salad, and it's a nice prelude to whatever meal you have. Fantastic. And price is reasonable. They do also, I think, one night a week, it might be Wednesday, a half-price wine. And they're usually packed. Tremendous job. I mean, as they said, I mean, they didn't make any, didn't try to, conceal that they got a lot of that idea from Anthony's
Andrew Garavuso.
Coal-fired, yeah.
Andrew Garavuso worked at Anthony's Coal-Fired in the early days.
But they did their own extrapolation on it, a variation on a theme, and it's obviously wildly successful because they have 9 places going on 10, and it hasn't really been that long. So and always a well-trained staff there. I don't know that I've ever encountered somebody that, even was deserving of the slightest bit of a face once they left the table, and you go, hey, what was that all about? Always really attentive, on top of it, in the right kind of spirit. So, and when you have 9 places, it's not easy to do that. I mean, you're talking about, what did he say? Did he say 70 or 700 employees, something like that? Must be 700. 700 employees. I mean, think about that.
9 restaurants, they each average at least 60.
Yeah, 50, 60. 700 employees. That's amazing. Nice job by those guys.
They're getting up there, and of course, they're still in development mode. And Palm Beach Gardens is coming next.
There's a market for it, though. Really, good, genuinely good food at a reasonable price. Where you're not having to go, and nothing against any of these places because they all have their place, in the culinary world, but and are fun to go to. But I mean, when you can afford to go and take
these are
5 people out, that's great.
I call it the everyday Italian, the everyday places where you can go once a week and not break the bank, and just affordable and friendly. I guess the only thing I was mentioning to them, some people, when they just want pizza, a slice of pizza for lunch. It's not a pizza by the slice place. It's a pizza by the pie place. But the pies are so good, you're going to eat it all anyway. So it doesn't even matter. Even
they
had a size for an individual.
They have
too,
a small
right?
that you could take and eat a couple slices and then have the leftover. Look, what we learned from that contest was, to me, you can tasting again, and I like mom and pop Italian places. That's actually usually my go-to, or those kind of places. I don't know the ingredients they're using. I'm hoping they're using decent ingredients. But when you eat Sicilian oven, you can sort of taste like the ingredients feel like if it's not elevated, it's not middle of the road either. Like it feels like they use a different level of ingredient for your normal like mom and pop Italian place. So that's and they do some interesting dishes compared to some of the again sliced joints as you guys call them. They do like they'll do it. They used to do the pear pasta. They do some other things dessert wise. They have that Nutella cake thing that was ridiculous. Like they do a bunch of different things. They have a cannoli cream thing dessert that's a little bit creative. Like they do a little bit more creativity. And but the other thing that they said, and it's true, we've now done shows at 3 of them. I've been at the Plantation one. I know Defo has been at there's a Fort Lauderdale one.
And
Like,
Lighthouse Point, yeah.
Like so that's like 6 different ones. You couldn't tell the difference. Like
No,
that's
the
but
great,
it's not
great
it's
thing.
not like Roadhouse or Outback, whatever you want to say, which is fine. Again, I chains as we work with offshoot chains, if they're handled the right way, they can be fantastic. But I like that they have done that where they're a regional chain, but you're never like, well, the Plantation one's better though, or the Lighthouse Point one's better though. Like where the service, wherever I've gone, the service is on point, the quality is on point, and you couldn't tell a difference. And I'm actually impressed by that because that's not
Yeah,
always
consistency is key, especially when it's a regional chain or any chain. That's what people want. Speaking of slice joints, I'm excited because coming up next month, we're gonna finally get to meet and see the new Peter's Pizzeria that's going to be in Pompano Beach. I've talked a little bit about Peter. He's a friend of our friend Reno, but his name is Peter Izzo. He came from New York, Long Island. His family operated a pizza parlor for a long time. Maybe still does, but he came down here, bought and took over a pizza parlor on Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton. He's had for a couple of years. And when I first went in there, I was like, and he said he wasn't really hands-on. He wasn't involved completely yet because it was still wrapping up some other things. Then he started getting involved. I went back there a few months ago and I loved it. I mean, and he's trying to recreate the feel of that neighborhood slice joint that we had in Brooklyn and Long Island and all over the New York area, where you just walk in, grab a slice for a snack or have 2 slices for a meal. And, they'll scoop you the Italian ices at the end. In his case, he's got all kinds of other pastries. I'm really looking forward to that. We were supposed to do it last week, but he got hung up in the usual permitting snags.
In
and
Pompano Beach, that
yeah.
never happened.
He, I don't know, the tricks of the trade.
It's easier to get a permit in Boca, right?
I
I mean, all you got to do is like give somebody a Gucci bag full of money there, and you probably
or a
get your
Botox
permit.
injection, a vial of Botox. And
But Pompano notorious for I'm just taking forever, stalling
sometimes
red tape in
you
permits.
drop the $100 bills on the floor, it still doesn't work. So I don't know, but he is resolving all his issues. He's hoping to have the store open actually in the middle of September, and we might get in there while it's actually in its first week of operation.
nice.
I think we're looking at September 16th, a Monday, and Reno might be joining us. We're going to call it Guinea Palooza because Peter Izzo and Reno Sorbonne will, they'll try to, they'll be slinging the olive oil and having all kinds of good pizzas. And it's great that Reno is friendly with the guy. I can't wait for the audience to meet him because I think he was on some reality show that, I forget which one, but he's a dashing young gentleman, and so he's telegenic and he knows how to speak and has an engaging personality, and his pizza is pretty darn good too. So it's going to be exciting news for the folks up in Pompano, right on Federal Highway, right across from the air park and the whole golf course up there. I guess.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's in your hood.
There's a lot of stuff there. They just opened up like 2 cheesesteak places there not long ago. There's a lot of that type of grub available in that particular area. So it's good. All right,
good.
so that'll be a welcome addition.
Yes, it will be a welcome addition. All right, we got to take one more break. Before we do, I'm going to just talk about the high-end meal I had the other night because this is at one of our sponsors. But I felt like celebrating another day of living and an as-is non-refundable deposit. And I'm so lucky. We went to Casa D'Angelo. up
No
in Fort
text, no
Lauderdale.
text.
No text. Well, no, I sent a text, but there was. He said, "Sure, come on in." But
Carpaccio on the house for these two.
no, it was
And a
not on
bottle
the
of
house.
wine. Bring it.
Look,
Yeah.
how lucky am I? Okay, because we had like, what I consider a death row meal, like unbelievable, like perfect split courses where they split everything for us in the kitchen. We had a tricolore salad, which is beautiful, a nice light start where you got your radicchio and the it wasn't the arugula. I don't know, one or the other, like greens. Yeah, but it was beautiful. They got the roasted tomatoes on there, tomato confit. So you got your red, you got your green.
Nice.
That's why they call it tricolor. It looks like the flag of Italy, and they have a little bit of cheese in there as well. Then we had the pasta course, which was my favorite, a special linguine frutta di mare fra diavolo, where you have the clams, the shrimp, the
seafood.
South African
Yes, yes.
lobster tail over
Oh,
fresh
wow.
house-made linguine in a beautiful spicy red sauce. That was course number 2. Course number 3, veal saltimbocca, where you got a pounded out veal chop off the bone. They melt a little bit of beautiful fresh mozzarella, but this layer also of prosciutto di Parma in a beautiful brown butter white wine sage sauce. Oh my God. And that's it. I was ready to die, except we had a little split of champagne and then a half bottle of Amarone. I love the half bottles because, my age, I can't drink too much red wine.
That wouldn't work on my table.
Yeah. And
Half bottle. You got to be kidding me.
well, again, it's after a couple of splits of champagne. We started with the champagne toast, and then we went to the half bottle of Amarone. We had a little left over for dessert, and our waiter, he comes over and he goes, "Get the chocolate gelato. It pairs perfectly with the Amarone," which is what we
Wow.
did. I was so happy when I walked out of there, and we did get presented with a bill. But I'm the luckiest guy alive. Val picked up the check. I mean, it's like perfect. She's like, "I want to invite you out to dinner to celebrate."
What
I was
happened? You
like,
went to the bathroom when the check arrived? What was the deal
no,
on
she
that?
she said she
You were
was
already
gonna,
in the car?
she said she was gonna pick it up, and I said, now I've actually got money I could actually afford.
There you go. You
A
could go
nice
there every
dinner.
night for a
Yeah.
while.
But we love Casa D'Angelo, greatable quality for a special occasion or just another day of living. 3 locations: Boca, Aventura, and the Fort Lauderdale flagship. We love Angelo. We hope we'll see him soon, and we'll be at the Bakery Bar, which is another fantastic place too. So
I was
that's
looking forward to getting in there. I've passed by it many times, and I've never gone in. And very curious to see, because I would imagine
wanna
it's
see
just
that so
top
bad.
quality. All right, coming back to wrap up today's early edition, the early bird edition of there still is an early bird out there of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
one of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Prezzo Italian Restaurants, 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Before I forget, a couple of notes. We're talking about J&C Oyster. They are open tonight. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. They're a great new spot for seafood and more. Great cuisine in a modern setting, 2035 Harrison Street. And they are participating in the Dine Out Lauderdale deals. And you can get a great full meal of the rundown of some of their best dishes by ordering the Dine Out Lauderdale menus. I think they have 2 of them, the $55 and the $75. And they're one of 180 participating restaurants now in Dine Out Lauderdale, where you could get great deals on multi-course lunches and dinners at restaurants throughout Broward County. It's going to be going on all through the month of September. We're almost at the end of August. That's hard to believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dineoutlauderdale.com for the full list. And don't forget, visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Early bird tickets on sale. Before you know it, it'll be here. Good time to get your early bird tickets and then save it and give it as a stocking stuffer for the holidays, because it's going to be in mid-January. Grand tasting, vlfoodwine.com to get your tickets today. Hey, and I also just got something across the transom. Our friend Destiny Beck, great publicist, she just sent me notice that the annual Swank Specialty Produce Swank Table Dinners will be back this winter, and they've released the schedule, and tickets are on sale now, and that's always a great time. It's at the Swank Specialty Farms. It's out in Loxahatchee. We're talking about all the farmland in Palm Beach County, and that's a great spot. If you've never been there, go on to the Swank Specialty Produce website and you can get the full rundown. But some great, really talented chefs that come out and they prepare these fresh dinners using all the farm fresh ingredients there, and some great seafood and other things. Again, go check that out now. All right, Defo, Sarni sent me a couple of texts. Do you want me to read them to you, or you just
I don't communicate by text with Sarni anymore.
So you say lose my number, but he still has your email or something. He's still,
Yeah.
here's
It's okay. I don't care what he thinks.
I
love the guy, but I don't care what he thinks.
All right. Well, first of all, he says, did you see the story of the North Carolina deli worker who posted a photo of a grilled cheese sandwich he ate for 365 days straight? He never ran out of cheeses. Now, does that mean he ate 365 different cheeses for each
Could be,
sandwich?
Did he try
And
to leader crunch? That would have knocked him out of the contest. Smelliest cheese. My dad was a big cheese fan, connoisseur. He was eating weird cheeses when it wasn't popular. And Liederkranz, everybody knew when that thing got broken open. 'Cause, man, did it stink.
nasty.
Actually, that wasn't true what I said, because I am intrigued by one of Sarni's notes that he had on the chat line today on our other show
Yeah.
in the morning. And he was asking where we stood on the Kobayashi. Is that this weekend?
Yes.
Kobayashi
the
Is it?
Joey
I love
Chestnut
it.
battle.
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Netflix, it's their special live.
Okay,
like,
so
a
that
showdown. Yeah.
I'm glad he reminded me of that, because there's a great curiosity point there. Since
Are they eating hot dogs or vegan dogs?
yeah, I
or
think it's
what
going
is
to
he
be hot
doing?
dogs. I
I
think
think
so.
it's hot dogs.
But
Yeah.
doesn't Chestnut have to by contract eat the vegan dogs?
Well, no, but the vegan people weren't preventing him from competing at the Nathan's thing. It was the Nathan's
The
people.
Nathan's people.
Yeah.
So he is allowed
They
to.
were fine with him going up
double
there being
dip,
an
so to
ambassador.
speak.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to clear out my calendar for that on Monday, but it's something to watch at a later date.
You know, if you're playing a chalk, which would be Chestnut, I mean, you
Oh,
got to
yeah.
lay 1,000 to win 100.
I would imagine the spread is Chestnut by at least double digits.
I don't know how they're
12
doing it. I mean, they're going with a time thing, or they just like go dog for dog.
Yeah, I'm going to say Chestnut by at least 12 and a hook. Should
Yeah,
be the
by hot
line.
dogs. And I would say Chestnut.
Yeah, I don't know what the line is, but yeah, plus 550 you're getting on Kobayashi,
Yeah.
who was last seen, trying to, shovel down some tofu. So he's got no chance.
Was it the Mapa? Mapu?
Mapu, which I think they make a very excellent version there at the Dragon Tea House,
Yeah.
maligned for
Much maligned.
their fried
Dragon
rice.
Tea House, yeah.
I don't know. You know what's funny? Now I'm trying to think. Did I see any egg in that fried rice?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to go back and
Get
order
the
some.
vegetable fried rice and see what
I
comes.
saw some
Take a
vegetables
picture.
in there for sure. But,
Yeah, I don't know about egg. Hey, and text number 2 from Sarni has, you probably know, no, I didn't, that September is National Chicken Month. Will you celebrate at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market? Well, the answer to that is yes.
should be
We are
yes.
going to be back with
That's a
Jose at Delaware
Oh, yeah? Oh, good.
Farm sometime in September. We're going to arrange a date, but after taking a little summer hiatus, we're going to be happy to get back and see Gene and Jose and the whole gang there at Delaware Chicken and Seafood in Hollywood. Great place to go for the upcoming Jewish holidays. If you celebrate, they have everything you need for your high holiday Passover, high holiday Rosh Hashanah table. So we'll be getting in there sometime in September.
Grandma's anytime soon?
Grandpa's.
Grandpa's.
Yes,
Yeah.
we actually. Funny
Yeah,
you should
I had
mention
a guy who was on a show, and the guy asked me, he says, "Hey, when are you going to be at Grandpa's again? I want to go there and be on the show."
Wednesday, September 18th. I was in there
There
this
you go.
morning for a
Okay.
little breakfast, but a couple of weeks ago, I saw our friend
Told him they'd be
Mark
coming back.
Freed.
Yeah.
And also kind of pre-high holiday editions. We're going to be in there for a morning show, a breakfast edition at 10:30 a.m.
Wow.
Wednesday, September 18th will mark our return to Grandpa's Bagel and Deli. So thank you.
Very appropriate. Yeah, be there for breakfast. That'd be awesome.
And Sarni asks, in celebration of National Chicken Month, will you eat a different chicken dish? I'm doing my Sarni voice. Will you eat a different chicken dish each day?
Who's feeding us any of these questions?
I don't know.
That's
No, and that's
really
what they-
something to get the FBI to investigate.
So the answer to that, Sarni, and notice how we just entirely blew off National Sandwich Month in August, because we did that a couple of years ago.
That
Almost
didn't work
killed
out
me.
well. Yeah.
That was when I was at my Hindenburg heights of weight.
You were ready to burst.
You ate
That
like
picture with
70
Bonnie is not flattering.
No, and that was after I think I ate. What did I eat? 56 sandwiches in the
You ate
month.
Yeah, that was
56
bad, man.
sandwiches.
Yeah, so we
You have a
skipped.
really warped concept of what it takes to please the people out there that are
National
watching the
Chicken
show.
Month might jibe with my dietary needs, since that would be
Yeah.
kind of protein and keto friendly. Sorry for using the word keto, but no, Jim Sarney, I will not be eating a different chicken dish each day.
We don't want to see you on my 600-pound life. I
Wow.
think you've dodged that. I
Even
watched
with
a little
your
more of that the
ginger-
other day. That is so depressing. It's hard to take. If
I
you
need more walks of life, though. This week has been tough with all the
get out there, man.
all
That's
this
what you
stuff
gotta do.
going on, a little bit of rain. Oh, and then, but Sarney does give a good idea. Maybe we could each rank our 5 favorite chicken dishes out there. Off the top of my head, I'm going to say chicken parm. Some
fried
people-
chicken.
fried chicken,
Milanese, Franchise.
Milanese that we have at
That's fire at Gulfstream. The 10
uh,
palms.
yeah, Gulfstream. I'm trying to think. Chicken a la king? No, that's not anymore. Chicken chicken
You're
burrito.
struggling. You're struggling, Mayo. Let's get out.
What's,
Yeah, I
what's
have
the,
Yeah. I mean, that's such a good topic. We can bring it up tomorrow.
All
we'll
right,
talk
we'll
tomorrow
put
about
on
our
our thinking
favorite
caps
chicken dishes.
and
Jeez.
think of the best chicken
Thanks,
dishes. Chicken noodle soup. Does that count? That's not a chicken dish.
No, it's not.
That's a soup. Thank you, Sarni, for helping us.
Chunky
derailing
chicken
us.
chow
3 minutes.
mein.
Always.
And
There you go. You're struggling.
hey, before we conclude today, I do have to give a shout out. Happy birthday in heaven to my father,
Happy birthday,
Brooklyn Bobby
Bobby.
Robert Mayo. He would have been 92 today.
All right.
He's gone. I can't believe he's been gone a little over 5 years. But
Wow.
his favorite was going to a deli right up the block from where his dental practice was located, the Mill Basin Avenue T Deli, and he would get a tip tongue sandwich. He loved tip tongue. Half tongue sandwich with a bowl of soup special. Back in the day, it was probably $7.99. Now it's up to probably $14.99.
New York.
Happy birthday in heaven, Dad. And that's going to do it for us today. We will be back tomorrow. I can't believe it's Friday already.
It's already Friday, thank God.
What the freak happened? How
We have
these
nice
weeks are
long
just
weekend.
spinning by. And we are back at Gulfstream tomorrow. It's going to be the final weekend of racing at Saratoga. So we're going to be
Nice.
going out with guns blazing. I got bullets now, and the guns will be blazing. Joe Beja and crew at Gulfstream. Some great live racing there, too, all weekend long. So come on out if you want. Say hi and give us a tip. Maybe if it works, I'll talk to you again later. But that's it for today. I'm off to the eye doctor, getting my eyes dilated, so I'll be blind for a while. And Defo, thanks very much. I hope Mustang is on the mend.
It's all right.
Lubie,
She's getting better.
Thanks for all your efforts.